the way that you parent your child directly impacts how they will grow up, how they think about themselves, how they do in school, how they process their emotions. You have the power to directly impact their entire life by how you choose to parent them. So knowledge is power. Hey guys, what's up? It's Candace from Gigglezilla.com, and I am passionate about helping parents and caregivers build a toolkit that they can use to take care of their kiddos. Today's toolkit is focusing on the 5 parenting styles. And the reason I want to talk about this, you guys, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, it's important to know what parenting styles are out there so that you are aware that even though you were parented a certain way, you don't have to also parent your children that same way, especially if the way you were raised was kind of unhealthy. Number two, it's important that you know your partners, the person you choose to spend your life with, how they parent, what's their parenting style, so that you guys can see how you align, where you're different, and how you want to raise your kids. So the first parenting style we're going to discuss is called authoritative parenting. We're going to start with this one because I'm pretty sure this is how I was parented. I'm pretty sure this is how I was parented growing up. So authoritative parents are highly involved and they set high expectations. They have high goals for their kids. They expect their kids to do above and beyond what other kids are doing. These kids usually do really well academically. They set the guardrails, set them in place, and then let the kids know, here's the standard that I expect you to meet. I will help you get there, but I expect you to behave and perform in this way. This parenting style also allows room for mistakes. So if a child messes up, they don't come down harshly on them. They communicate that they had an expectation and that child was expected to meet it and they did not. But they allow room for that. Kids are going to make mistakes, and this parenting style leaves room for the kids to mess up and then hopefully get back up on their feet and keep going. The second parenting style is authoritarian. So not authoritative. Authoritarian is overbearing. This parenting style says my way or the highway. Parents who operate under this style can sometimes be perceived as harsh or even bringing down harsh punishments on their child because their kid did not do exactly what they wanted them to do. The goal of this parenting style is obedience. Order, obedience, you do what I say when I say do it. And now that I think about it, that might be how I was raised. Since the ultimate goal of this parenting style is obedience, there is concern with the child's happiness. So the kid may do exactly what you say when you say do it because they're operating out of fear. But socially and emotionally, there's some issues there because they don't feel like they can express themselves to you out of fear for how you will react. They don't feel like they can mess up or make a mistake or try something new or different because if they color outside the lines, they know that parent or guardian is coming down really harsh on them. So they try their best to stay only in the lines, but it's usually out of fear. We don't want our kids operating and obeying us out of fear. We want them to do it because they have a good relationship with us. The next parenting style is called permissive parenting style, or free range, like the free range chickens that just kind of roam all over the yard and eat the grass and eat the chicken food. That's this parenting style. So in permissive parenting, anything goes. There just really aren't very many rules. And if there are some rules, if the kids go against them, there's no consequence. I often say that this style is when the parent wants to be best friends with their kid. They don't want to have any confrontation with their child. Someone said to me, your child doesn't necessarily need to like you, but they do need to respect you. That is the opposite of permissive parenting. Permissive parents want their kids to like them. They don't want to ruffle any feathers with their kids, so they know if they put a boundary in place, their kid may buck that boundary. They just don't really even want to deal with it. So since they don't want to deal with it, they just kind of let the kids run amok. And you know what happens is when these kids grow up, they have no self-regulation. Maybe they are free and they are just running around doing what they want to do, but they've got to learn self-control. They've got to learn self-regulation, especially if we expect them to function in a society with other people. Just saying. It's also important to understand there's no perfect way to parent. My mom always said, no one wrote a handbook on how to be the perfect parent. So most parents are doing the very best that they can do. We can be intentional about how we parent, and in order to do that, you need to educate yourself and you need to understand that there are different ways to parent other than the way that you currently parent. The fourth style of parenting is uninvolved parenting. So this is different than permissive parents. So permissive parents are there, it's just anything goes when they're there. There's no boundaries. The kids can do whatever they want to do. Uninvolved parents have no expectations. They can often be labeled as neglectful. They're not meeting the basic needs of the kids. They're not interested in what's happening in the kids' lives. They're not intentional about their development. When something comes up that needs to be addressed, they don't address it. I don't care. Don't talk to me about it. Just leave me alone, is how these parents approach child rearing. These may be the parents that just don't show up. They are quite literally uninvolved in their child's life. And the fifth style of parenting is called attachment parenting. This style of parenting desires closeness in proximity and in relationship with their child or their children. The goal of this style of parenting is to provide balance and to build a relationship with their child. Attached parents are usually very responsive, very on top of it, but they also practice positive discipline. So they put boundaries in place and they administer those boundaries and those rules in a loving way so that the child always feels supported, always feels loved, always feels attached to that parent. So those are the 5 parenting styles. Some of them overlap. You may be authoritarian one day and you may be permissive the next day, but usually you will fall in one category most of the time. It's really important that we are intentional about how we parent these kids, because how you choose to engage with them will determine how they function in society. And y'all know I am determined to build a generation of kids who do not have to recover from their childhoods, who are strong, who are smart, who are healthy, who are capable, who are confident, who love themselves and love others. I'm just determined to do it, and understanding these parenting styles is one of the ways that we can do that. If you watch this video and you found any value in it at all, subscribe to this channel.